CMI is your full-service human resources provider in Central Kentucky. For 15 years, CMI Human Resources has taken great pride in helping organizations and people work. Whether it's employee handbooks or help in filling a position, no job is too large or too small for CMI. Contact the professionals today at CMI Human Resources, 859-296-2800, or online at cmiconsulting.com.
Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn, and this is part 2 of Dee Matherly's story, what it's like to be the daughter of a family when your mom and dad are in a very unhealthy marriage and your father is a alcoholic and very verbally abusive and controlling, and unfortunately winded up trying to murder her mom as she shot her in the head, and miraculously her mom, Sherry Matherly, lived through that. And we talked with Sherry last week in our program, and if you've missed any of those shows, I encourage you to go catch the podcast of those, and it's simply at our website, hopeishere.today. But Dee also buried a lot of this pain, and they just didn't talk about it. It's kind of the elephant in the room, as Dee said, and Dee's just a beautiful young lady who lives in Nashville now. But we're going to let you listen to what it was like for her and watching her mom recover from this just awful situation where her dad shot her mom in the head, tried to kill her, and then took his own life, and just what it's been like and how she's choosing to use what was a really, really painful situation for good, and that how God was faithful through all of it. So I hope that you, if you missed any of these, you will go to our website, hopeishere.today, and I know that you're going to be blessed today as you hear part 2 of Dee Matherly.
My mom ended up getting better and better, and she was able to, when she woke up, I remember going in her room. She couldn't talk, she couldn't really move, but she could write, she could hold her pencil and write. And it was kind of the first time I'd really seen her since then that happened, and been around her where she was awake and alert enough. And she just wrote, "I'm sorry." And it's still to this day absolutely breaks my heart that she feels responsible for everything that happened, and it was just, what do you even say back to that? I wasn't mad at her, I didn't hold anything, against her for what happened. I was just so thankful that she was alive at this point, and I just felt so bad for her. And after all that she's been through, just in general, living with him and being married, and just that was her life. And then for him to do that to her, and that, I was just so angry. I was so mad at him, and I felt so bad for her. As every day she got a little bit better. She had to learn to do everything again: eat, walk, talk, dress herself. She got out of the hospital and went to a rehab facility to relearn all of that. So the setbacks were always a little frightening. You didn't know really still what the damage was. The doctors had decided that they would not remove the bullet, that it was just in a place that would do too much damage to try to get it out. But they, called her a miracle, because the way the bullet had traveled, it basically dodged all of the, important parts of your brain, I don't know, but, to where it, she would be okay, her, she would be able to recover, which no one knew. You don't expect anyone to survive something like that. She got better. I remember I was out of school for quite a while, but then I had to go back, and I didn't have anywhere to be. I didn't have a home. I didn't have, like my parents. Like I was just, this like high school kid trying to be as normal as I could. So every day after school, I would go straight to Cardinal Hill, the rehab facility that she was in, and just be with her and spend time with her. And I just remember having to like watch her, help her like eat and hold her spoon. And if she was able to put her socks on for the day, that was like a huge deal, And, I remember just thinking that was, I'd never felt so like helpless for her, like I couldn't help her then, and I couldn't take this back, and it was just really hard to just see her like that and still not know if she would be able to fully, regain her strength and be able to walk, be able to even talk at this point again. So she was able to come home after a few months, basically like I think 6 months later or so. And I feel like I didn't sleep like at all. Like those first few nights, I was just so terrified that something would happen, or she would need me, and I like just basically slept right beside her and slept with the door open. I would like go in and just check on her and make sure she was like breathing and just still okay. She just wasn't. It was really weird. I mean, it was my mom, but it was like a different person. Like our relationship was changed, when we couldn't help that, but it was like just that like elephant in the room that no one wanted to address. She eventually was able to, regain all of her independence. She was able to drive again. It was really like, just a complete miracle that she was able to recover so much from that. And we never talked about what happened, though, ever. I mean, we never really addressed it. We never talked about it. And I know that we have now, and I know, but she holds a lot of like guilt and she feels responsible for all of that. And it's hard to help her realize that she doesn't, and I'm not mad at her. I've never been mad at her about anything. And looking back now, knowing what I know, that was a really hard position she was in, because she didn't know what to do or who to turn to or how to get help. And she was doing the best she could, and she did, a great job. So I moved to Lexington. I went to college, and a few years in, just felt like I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I have no idea what I want to do. I tried a few different things and different classes and majors, and just decided that, I need to stop wasting all of this time and money. So I stopped going. And one of my best friends that I'd met in college, we had been talking about like moving, and let's do something like while we're still young, we can always move back home. And so we decided to move to Nashville. When I talked to my mom about it, it was really hard. It was hard for me to think about leaving her, I know she was really sad, but at the same time, she's always supported me, and she knew I had to go too. I had to kind of get away and just do, start a chapter of my life. So we did that, and I moved here, and loved it, and still went back home a lot. Mom would drive down and stay with us and visit, which was always, great. I decided that I wanted to start volunteering, and I wanted to get involved with like a domestic violence organization. So I was able to connect with one here, Morning Star program. And we meet like once a month. One day after the meeting, I was literally driving home, and I just started crying, and I felt like just like a door had been opened, and this whole time I've been, thinking that I don't have anything. I don't have a talent. I don't have a passion. And God was like, I gave this to you. This is what you're going to do. Like, this is your talent. This is your story. This is what you've been looking for, And I called one of my best friends in my small group, and I hadn't even shared my story with her. And I'm like an emotional mess, but happy at the same time. And I'm like, this is going to be a lot, but I have so much to tell you. And I just spilled everything out, told her like the whole story, what had happened. And that I'd had this like moment of realization that this is what God gave me to do. And for a while, I always thought, there has to be a reason. I know there's a reason that God allowed me to go through what I went through, but come out pretty normal on the other side. And, when all the pieces start coming together, and then now that I've been volunteering with that organization and around these people, and with, the support of, my friends in my small group, the ball is like finally like rolling. I feel like this is definitely what God gave me to do, and to share my story. And this is like my passion. The greatest blessing, I believe, from this is realizing that obviously that my mom survived and is okay. And I was, I'm able to spend more time with her, here on earth. But I believe the biggest blessing has been the opportunity that this gave me to draw closer to God and strengthen my relationship with Him, and allow me to come to this, moment of realization that everything's going to be okay, that He gave this to me, gave me this story, and I'm going to be able to share it with other people and not be ashamed and not feel, like the outcast, and hopefully help other people. I think I've been fearful of sharing my story just to how people will receive it, how, if and how it will be able to help others, if it will really make a difference. So now that I'm sharing my story, I feel like I'm, definitely taking those steps, overcoming those fears. I definitely would have started this a while ago, like a lot sooner, because it's so freeing and it's so exciting now to just think of the opportunities and people that I'll be able to help. So I definitely just wish I would have started this journey, a long time ago.
Do you have a real estate question and don't know where to start? Contact Cecil Holmes with Rector Hayden Realtors. Whether you're in the market, looking to buy, sell, or rent a house, Cecil Holmes would be glad to help you with any real estate questions you have. Give him a call today at 326-0756. That's 326-0756. Cecil Holmes with Rector Hayden Realtors.